as Mr. K as pee-pee. Is that you, Bell?
Why is it that I always seem to see you in a G6 truck or?
Well, this is how this is the only thing I do when I get out. I got nothing better to do, you know? And plus I make I make $1 an hour right now. Maybe $2 an hour.
Is the budget that fucked?
It's a negative $16 million. And I've no like
16 million.
max plus
Holy shit.
scuff. So it's already like, okay, so the problem is I can only look at budgets based on a 7-day window. And based on the way that it's calculated, you can't really see the rate at which it's drawing, nor are the numbers visible. Are all the numbers there, so you can't even hand calculate it. So the only way to project is to project in a 7-day window. But then you throw in the fact that the state marshals have spent $30 million, right? And only a portion of that is visible on the deficit. But then on top of that, Max already was actively pushing us into the negative. So I don't even know how much in the negative it's going. There's no way to do good projections, unfortunately. So
is there like a total amount of how much money we have in the state account?
Oh, -6. Oh, kind of. I mean, it's like, I can see a state account that's got like $300 million in it, but I don't think that is a state account. I think that's like the federal account. It's all fucked right now. So I pretty much decided not to touch anything until things get sorted out. Because as a worst case, we should be wasting less money, but if I put any of the dials up, it may turn us even more into the red, and then when things are resolved, then getting out of it might become an impossibility. So yeah,
okay,
yep. So which kind of sucks, because I had a lot of plans for like subsidizing shit, you know, to stop making things pop off, but you know, with no state, you know, with no county money on hand, I'm kind of screwed. How was the shift?
My shift yesterday wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
I feel like I was kind of handed a task, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to handle that. So
yeah, understandable.
To kind of allow myself to think without having officers yelling at me, I picked up a couple of wrenches at Mosley's.
Oh, okay. It's not bad. I mean, it's a good thing to get out there, you know. I think more people need to do that, you know, get familiarized with the citizenry, because, you know, people only see people like, you know, with a badge and you know, a uniform on. More likely they're only going to see you for, you know, being law enforcement.
I'm gonna stand over here.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Holy shits.
So
but yeah, no, that was something that I spoke to Ursula about, and she said she sees a lot of officers that are basically just badges. I think that was actually right after I talked to you.
Wait, say that last bit again? I didn't really catch it.
I spoke to Ursula, I think shortly after I spoke to you. Like, I was off duty and I went and spoke to her at Legion Square.
Oh, yeah.
I might not have... I don't know who I talked to. But she said that was kind of something too. That, like, her as a media person, like, sees people as either civilian or a cop. Like, ultimately, I feel like everybody is a civilian. But...
Yeah, that's, yeah, no,
I have one officer, I think, that is detached from thinking of people as a civilian. And I think the only possible way to fix that is to let him go and have him reapply.
Wait, what do you mean? Like fire him?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are you, what's your rank again? I'm sorry.
Sergeant.
sergeant, and are you empowered to like make those decisions? And I ask genuinely because there's some of the shit I've been hearing about it having to go all the way to the top is annoying to me.
To be honest with you, I'm not sure. I think when it comes towards the shift itself, I don't have to go all the way to the top.
Okay, that's good.
But I will say I feel like I was kind of handed it, saying like to deal with it. But then I was kind of like given tips on how to deal with it. Like I don't know if I should like, you know, follow what my higher ups are telling me to do, or if I should just deal with it how I see fit. Which is part of the reason I'm taking some time off. Like I know I'm not on duty. It's also not my shift as of yet. But doing some thinking before I have to fly out for a little bit. I have to head back home for like a few hours, I think.
Understandable. What oh shit. Well,
But
you
if
know,
you would like to continue talking in a formal setting, I can give you a call later tonight too.
yeah,
be around.
yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'd like to kind of pick your brain. I've been my biggest concern right now, transparently, is I have a pretty good line of sight of who I want as chief. It's probably gonna piss a lot of people off, to be honest. But that individual, oh, thank you. That individual is realistically the only person that I think even remotely has the passion to do the job. I'm getting this very unfortunate, sad, like, impression that most of PD's given up. Or if they haven't given up, like in terms of leadership, they've alternatively only come on duty to make their adrenaline pump, and they don't want any responsibility. And that's a very sad state of affairs if, you know, the objective is to uplift and develop the police department to be better than what it is. So
when it comes to higher ups, I think a lot of it, now that I think of it, I think a lot of it is the fact that a lot of people have issues with PD and how we do things.
yeah.
But everybody is willing to go to like everybody else about the problems and not actually to like PD higher ups. Granted, it doesn't help when I have officers that are saying like, if you have a problem with me, take it up with the marshals. I corrected that. Hopefully,
Excuse me?
Oh yeah, no, I overheard an officer say, if you have a problem with how I'm doing this, you can take it up with the marshals. They can look into it. I told them that's not what the marshals are for.
There should be like a minimum IQ test in the PD, and then I feel like there should be mandatory. So like doctors have to effectively what do you call it? They have to get retrained, I think, like recertified every like 2 years. Not in Los Santos, but like outside of the city. And the reason for that is medicine changes. And very similarly, the law changes and things change in Los Santos very rapidly. And I think a lot of times PD, like command, may know things change, but how do the officers? So like, you know, like the fact that this guy said this tells me that this guy hasn't been keeping up. And if you're not keeping up, I think, I don't know. I think that might not be a bad idea. I don't know. Holy fucking shit. Take it up with the marshals. Fucking jerk off. If I was in the PD, I would have fucking suspended him just for that. But
No,
as you can tell, Bella, I
was
got
not
very
happy with hearing
little.
it.
I got very little patience for stupid people that like to challenge authority. Well, depending, right? If it's your rights, it's one thing. For challenging because you're fucking dumb, like fix his shit. Please tell me this isn't the same cop that you're gonna get rid of.
It is.
Oh, Jesus
And
Christ.
I think that's where my decision's at.
Yeah.
I think the best course of action is to fire him, have him spend like 30 days as a civilian, and then maybe give him another shot and see if his attitude has changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give him the old walk a mile in my shoes kind of deal.
Yeah. Yep. I don't think that'd be a bad thing. Have you considered suspending him for X amount of time first? Has he had a suspension yet?
They're probationary. As far as I'm aware, they have not had a suspension. I'm not going to name names, but we did talk with them yesterday about some issues that were brought up, like some complaints. He got very heated with myself and another senior, to the point where I said, if you're going to get this heated, you can go 42.
Oh, it's one of those. I take it back then.
Yep. 42 being off duty, if you weren't aware of that.
Wow.
He came back roughly, I don't know, 30 minutes later after I started like writing up some reports on kind of what I saw. I will admit I was kind of taken aback. He apologized and offered for me to ride along with him to kind of show him, or for him to show me how he polices. But he's a good officer. Like, he can articulate the charges that he pushes pretty well. I feel like he's a little bit more on the letter of the law and needs to be shown a little bit more spirit of the law and empathy. Which, like, I can take somebody and train them to be a good cop, like teach them what to do, procedures, stuff like that. But I can't teach them to be human.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds to me like this guy is, what's the word? He's entitled as shit, and showing him how entitled he is, you know, I'm very much a, you know, I've always employed throughout various businesses I've ran, like, someone does something out of line, 24 hours, like, just not, and that's what I did with Archie. You know, you start doing dumb shit, 24-hour suspension. Even if I'm wrong, doesn't matter. It sends a message, you know? You know, and then escalating, you know, 1 day, 2 day, you know, and then dialing back if they have weeks of, you know, turnaround, right? And because those people will fuck up again, right? It'll be a reoccurring. But the reason I like to dial it up is you're kind of limit testing their ability to, like, turn around and limit testing their ability to, like, reel it in. But if the guy is literally in a disciplinary conversation saying shit like that, then that's a waste of everybody's time, to be honest. At least from the sound of it.
No, and they're definitely one too. Like, I've given them a disciplinary action point, and he immediately got upset with it. He asked why I was giving it to him. I gave him the reason why.
What a fucking
and then
pussy.
he immediately told me, well, is there, like, who's your higher up? I want to take it up with them.
Oh my god.
So,
what a fucking weak little pussy bitch over a DAP.
yep.
Yeah, fuck that. That's a waste of, I would have fucking, like, listen. Yeah, yeah, fuck that.
And unfortunately, this person has been taking up, like, a lot of my time this last week or so, like, taking complaints against him. Quite frankly, I'm pretty much done with it. Like, I'm gonna speak with the rest of Shift 2 Command later today, and tell them kind of like what my train of thought is with it, and just be done with it. Like, there's so much that the PD needs. I cannot just sit here and be a babysitter for one probationary officer.
Yeah, exactly. That's taking time away from, like, getting the rest of the PD up and going, especially while there's cadets, you know. I have been getting pressure. Luckily, there's a lot of support in the city to watch the LSPD grow, and I'm making sure I'm tapping into all members of the populace and getting them to at least understand that there needs to be growth time. And I think if the foundations of the LSPD are not strong, and you put too many of these kind of brainlets in there, right? It might be all fun and games, right? For, like, select situations, but then you can't be surprised when the 90% of bad shit happening, like, you know, a newer cop, like, opening fire when they shouldn't, or, like, stepping on someone's rights. Why is it happening? Well, guess what? There wasn't time to train them because some jerk off was taking 90% of the time. It's like, it's just, you can't have all the check boxes ticked. You got to pick where the, you know, you can only focus on so much at once, you know? So, yeah, fuck that guy. Could I ask who that was? Keep it to myself, you know.
That's what I was about to say. Crocodile Steve.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, to be honest. That guy's I've heard a lot of complaints from outside the PD.
Like I said, he can articulate his charges well, but
I get it.
I feel like he needs to be a little bit
can't
more
read social
spirit.
cues.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah, I Nino Chavez am very surprised he's a problem. I fired him on.
Talk to yourself in the third person.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like I just you know, I'm having, you know, I don't know. Sometimes I get like you know, sometimes yeah, never mind. I fired him twice on Brian.
Okay, I am still a bit under the weather. I'm gonna take off here, go get some medicine, and then hopefully feel better and have that conversation later today.
Okay, sounds good. Bell, always a pleasure. All right, take care.
Speaking of the MDT, like, do you know if Max and Siobhan's access have been revoked?
That I can actually.
Or is that?
Oh,
is
I
that
can't.
Above your pay grade too?
No, I can check. I'm not signed in for some reason though. It should be. Well, so I can't remove it. That would be Angel. But she. Oh, I got attacked 2 days ago.
Wait, what? When?
Yep. I had some like crackhead. This is a whole thing. I had to yell at my staff, and I made codes of conduct. They got held up, and they decided the smartest idea was to let the assailant into my office, right? And but where the problem happened was some like random bozo tried to be hero and took me out instead of the assailant. But even then, it led to a massive escalation instead of, you know, talking it out or whatever it needed to be. But
okay.
well, Bell, you get
got it.
Yeah, no, it's all sorted now. But hey, Bell, you you get better soon, and we'll talk tonight. All right.
All right, sounds good. Have fun with your G6.
You take care.